Welcome back to Teach English Now. In our last two modules, we have discussed reading and reading strategies. In the first module, we gave you strategies to help engage non-readers. And in the second, we helped you to think about two different kinds of reading, extensive and intensive. The stories we have shared, Wizard of Oz and Tortoise and the Hare, are intended to help improve your memory to help you retain key concepts. We hope that you have enjoyed them so far. We will now be introducing you to key concepts in ESL writing theory. These key concepts have roots in rhetoric, linguistics, English as a second language, and English as a foreign language. Once again, there are so many approaches and philosophies. Our purpose in the next two modules is to introduce you to practical applications that, regardless of your philosophical persuasion, cuts across multiple disciplines and theories. Okay, seriously, we can't keep doing this. Wizard of Oz? Tortoise and Hare? This is ridiculous. I'm just going to share ideas about writing in the simplest way possible. That's what I'm going to do. All right. I need to talk about the writing process, no doubt, and of course, it is important to talk about proficient versus non-proficient writers. And then, of course, it might be important to talk about teachers themselves and some of the problems they face when they teach writing, especially the problems of appropriation. That's a weird word, appropriation. Almost sounds nice. Appropriation isn't nice at all. It's just, oh gosh, I'm so sleepy. We find ourselves in the middle of the classroom, where young Hansel and Gretel have come to learn about writing. We are also introduced to a teacher who is dedicated to writing. Sadly, the teacher is a witch. And she's a rather inexperienced teacher, with a bit of a control streak. Now let's watch our two heroes try to figure out the teacher's writing assignment.
Okay, class. Today's assignment is simple. I want you to write me an essay about your dream home. What would your dream home look like? What would you put inside it? Ready? Go! Start writing. What's the matter? Get going! You don't want me to turn you into toads, do you?
Sadly, our teacher doesn't seem to understand the writing process.
Am I supposed to be able to hear you? Because I can, you know.
Nor does she know that a few quick tips would help her students to write successfully.
Seriously, cut that out. I can totally hear you.
She finally realized that if she stopped yelling nonsense at the ceiling, she might be able to figure a few things out.
Nonsense? I'm not talking to the ceiling, Okay, sure, right. Nonsense, whatever. What might I figure out?
The witch looks into her students' eyes and realizes her students are overwhelmed by such a large writing assignment. And it is then that the witch comes upon a brilliant idea. The idea is simple. Why not divide the writing task into more manageable pieces?
Like what?
The witch starts speaking to the ceiling again in a fit of crazed delusion, then almost speaks out, but decides against it. Finally, the witch decides to settle in and create some fantastic writing assignments. First, she decides to come up with activities that help her students to think of the general features of a home. She wants them to explore possibilities of what homes have in preparation for writing about their dream homes. She thinks of questions to ask, lists to make, and thinks of ways to have students write freely and explore their own thoughts.
Sounds pretty good,
she said out loud. And then she thought of a second assignment. She realized that students often don't understand what to write. How long should the assignment be? Does it have a traditional structure, such as an introduction, body, and conclusion? Are there specific language requirements that she is looking for? She realizes that she needs to give students a clear idea of her expectations, that it might help students if she provided models and guidance for what a good essay might look like.
I can give them an example of my own dream house. I do love candy,
she said in almost frenzied madness. And then she recognized that students will need a chance to test out their ideas, to work together as partners, and that she will give feedback to them as they create their first drafts. Finally, The witch places her 3 assignments along a path and invites the students to do each assignment one by one.
Why don't I just hand them individually, one at a time?
Along the path. She doesn't ask questions about it. She just lays them on the ground, evenly spaced, and Hansel and Gretel go along and pick them up.
Fine. Here you go, Hansel and Gretel. Happy gathering!
Look! It's like a clue!
We'll be to our dream house in no time.
Oh, I see where you are going with this. Very clever.
Thank you.